I'm gonna go over everything you're gonna need to switch to one of these hanging systems, a hanger system for the heavy bags. So what you're gonna need first and foremost is one of these brackets here. Okay, I'll put all the links in the description so you can order these, but this is what I'm using. I'm sure you can use alternatives. I'll link you to this one. For the hardware, if you wanna come in, we're using, everything's in 5/16, so we're gonna get these 4.5 inch bolts. They don't need to be threaded all the way down, just towards the end, because this is gonna go through the main beam. So those are fine. You're gonna wanna get washers, nylon lock nuts, and then locking washers. Essentially how this will get put together is we'll have this piece, let's say the beam is here. We're gonna put a washer on one end. We'll go through the bottom all the way to the top, so it's going all the way through the beam here. On the top end, we'll put a lock washer. Actually, sorry, other way around. A regular washer, a lock washer, and then the nut. So it'll be like that, all the way down at all 4 points. So that's the hardware we're gonna need. Tools we're gonna need to get this job done. We're gonna need a drill so that we can drill the hole through the beam. We're gonna need a ladder so that we can actually get up there and access everything. You're gonna need a tarp just to lay out so that you don't get metal shrapnel all over the mats. And then the cleanup can be kind of annoying. There's gonna be a lot of heat with the shrapnel. It's gonna come down, put holes through the tarp. At least it's not going on the mats, but some of that shrapnel will get through. You can get one of these magnet brooms to help clean all that stuff up. And then obviously like do a good cleanup after, maybe use a shop vac or a regular vacuum. Beyond that, some eyewear. With all that shrapnel going around, you're gonna wanna protect your eyes. And then you're also going to need a Sharpie so that you can mark the holes. That's everything I'll be using, so sweet. Let's get to it. Okay, so how I do this is, it's kind of hard to line it up all perfectly, so what I'll do is, you'll have a pre-existing hole from your eye bolt. Use that as one of your holes, so it doesn't really matter which one. I'll just set it to this hole here, line it up on that, make sure it's pretty centered, and then you're gonna wanna use a Sharpie to mark the holes. Obviously, black on black's hard to see. I can see it, but if you have like a silver Sharpie, that might work a little better for you. So I'll go there, make sure this thing stays up. I'll mark a hole, try to get it all the way. It's definitely not a perfect system, but there's already a hole there. Let me drill in there. It'll get the job done. So yeah, we're gonna drill a hole from the top. We'll go all the way through the bottom. The tricky part is getting the hole to line up perfectly, because as you drill the bit down, there's gonna be a bit of deviation. You gotta try your best. Honestly, what I'll end up doing is I'll kind of make the hole bigger by like spinning the bit around to make it, give me a little bit of extra space for error. There's probably a better system, maybe if we had better tools, but this gets the job done. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I put my hole in here, and I had been doing it a very inefficient way where I was using the 5/16 drill bit and boring the hole out to accommodate for that error of not being able to line it up perfectly. I figured what would work better is to just use a drill bit that's a bit bigger. So this is a 3/8 drill bit. I'm just gonna rebore these holes. Oh, safety glasses. All right, this is the moment of truth. We got the holes all set. We'll see if it all lines up. So I've got all my bolts with all the hardware on them already. Get my bracket. I like it so the clip of the bracket is facing away from like the main activity of the mat. So like this little clip here is gonna face towards you. Put this first hole in. See if it lines up. Where you at? Okay, that's good. Put my hardware on top, lock it in place. Don't need to tighten it down yet. We're just gonna make sure all the holes line up. Okay, there's one. Looks good. go to this far one next. Okay. Oh, plenty of extra space. Using that bigger drill bit definitely helped out here. I know for sure one of them is going to be good because that's where the eyeball was, and that's a much larger hole. So the one that's really going to make the difference is this one right here. Oh! Oh! Where you at? Oh yeah!
Nice.
We got it. Boom. Last one. I know this is going to work, so this is kind of best case scenario. I've definitely fucked up a lot of these, but oh my God, no way. I spoke too soon. That hole's not lining up. Uh-oh. Let's see what it looks like from the top here. Oh my God, it's off just barely. I spoke way too soon. All right, we'll be back. Gotta fix that. Close up. We got that fixed. Just had to bore out one of the holes. I just bored up the hole the eyeball was going through. So everything's in place. It's not perfect, but it's gonna do just fine for holding up the bag. So now you're just gonna need some adjustable wrenches. Where's my other one? I need 2 of them. Oh, set this on the ground. And if you have like some nut drivers, probably deep well nut drivers, you could use that on the top. But I'm just gonna use 2 wrenches. Just hold down one end, twist the other end. So I won't go super tight right away. I'll just kind of get them all snug, and then I'll go through a second time and tighten them up. Sick. All right, we're pretty much done. When you get these brackets, they're gonna come with these carabiners on there. I'll take these off and I'll use the, I've got a different clip that I'll use. Your clips, you're gonna have to kind of adjust it, like depending on how many links there are and how close it is to the ground and where you want it. You can use a bigger one or a smaller one, and then you have to accommodate down here by bringing this carabiner up or down. So you'll have to kind of play with that yourself and see what setup you like. I usually use this size clip. I don't know what size it is. I'll find that in a second. And I'll go up to like the 5th link. So there'll be 5 of them dangling off of it. And it varies bag to bag and what setup you're using. This one actually needs to get changed out. Cool. Okay, the moment of truth. I've got it all adjusted. I just successfully did it when we weren't recording, so usually I'll have someone help me with this, but I think I can do it. Pick it up. Hold it.
Nice.
Got it. And yeah, that's it. Usually I'll check to make sure, like if I push it really far, that it'll swing back. I don't want it to stop when it hits the ground, so I'll give it a good push. Make sure it swings. That's perfect. According to Sean Madden's specifications. Alright, so here's the final setup. On the top, we've got the regular washer, and this is the lock washer, and then the nylon lock nut. Alright, so that's the top. On the bottom, it's just the bolt going through, and then just one regular washer with the rest of the bracket. That's what it looks like.